Eliud Nieves. I've been practicing saying his name. He is from Puerto Rico, but he lives now here in lovely New York State, near Ithaca, in Spencer, New York. And he told us that he absolutely loves the area, and if you haven't been down there lately, it is gorgeous.
A lot of falls.
A lot of falls, yeah, it's absolutely stunning. So, today, he's going to tell us a story from his native Puerto Rico, and he also tells us that he grew up listening to his grandmother tell stories. It was her voice telling stories that lulled him to sleep. So he's going to bring to us those balmy breezes of the Caribbean. So please, welcome, give a nice Capital District welcome to our first showcase teller.
As you heard, my story comes from Puerto Rico, where I was born. And I also found out that the story that comes from Puerto Rico also comes from many other places, and you'll see why. You see, a long, long time ago in Puerto Rico, there lived a woman, and her name was Tia Miseria. Tia is aunt, of course. Now, Tia Miseria lived at the edge of town in a small house, and she had a small garden. But the pride of her garden was a mango tree. She loved that mango tree. It grew the most beautiful, the most delicious mangoes anywhere on the island. People would come to ask her for mangoes, and if you asked nicely, she would give you a few. But not the children. Oh no. The children would sneak into the garden, climb up the mango tree, and steal her mangoes. Oh, Tia Miseria would hobble out, and she would shake her fist at them, but they knew she couldn't climb, so they would tease and taunt her. Tia Miseria, ooh. When they were done eating, they would climb down and run away laughing. They knew she couldn't run. And she knew their parents wouldn't do anything about it, but she thought about that all the time. Well, one day, a man came to her door, and he was hunched over from the years of his life, and he was covered from the dust of the road, and he asked if he may stop and rest on her chair and perhaps have a drink of water. And Tia saw that he was so hungry and so tired, and she said, "No, tonight you will sleep on my bed, and you can have half of my supper. I can sleep on the floor." And that's the way it was. Now in the morning, the man walked to the door, and when he turned around to thank her, he stood up straighter than ever, and the years fell from him like raindrops. And he said, "Tia, you have been so kind that I will grant you a wish. Anything that you want." She knew what she wanted. She took him out to the garden, and she pointed to the mango tree and said, "You see that mango tree? Anybody who climbs that mango tree doesn't come down until I say so." It was a strange request. He said, "Well, so be it." And he vanished. The next day, the children crept into the garden. They climbed the mango tree. They started eating mangoes. Now, Tia Miseria walked to the garden, and she just stood there smiling. They taunted and teased, "Tia Miseria, na, 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 na." She just smiled. When they were done eating, they tried to climb down. They tried to climb down, but they were stuck. Their little bottoms were stuck to the branches. They couldn't move. Oh, they cried. They pleaded. They begged, and she said, "Nah, Well, when they promised never to steal mangoes again, she snapped her fingers, and down they came. They were gone in an instant. Now, as I said, Tia Miseria was very, very old. So one day, death came to her door. "Tia Miseria, I have come for you." And she said, "Oh, is it that time already? Well, if I must go, I must go. But please, un favor, one favor. Before I go, can you go to my mango tree and get me one less mango? Well, Death climbed the mango tree. And he looked around and he found the ripest, the most beautiful mango, and he plucked it. But when he tried to come down, he was stuck. He couldn't move. He roared and he threatened. Rah! Nothing he could do. Well, the days passed. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, the months into years, and no one died because death was cut off in the mango tree. But one day, her neighbor came to her, and she was even older than Tia Miseria, and she said, Tia Miseria, look at me. My arthritis is so bad I cannot open my hand. My knees hurt all the time. I cannot sleep. Please, Tia, let death go because I need to go with him. She asked so nicely, of course she obliged. So she went to release death, but not until he promised that he would never come for her. So from that day, death comes for all of us. No, but not Tia Miseria. She lives in Puerto Rico and all over the world. Miseria is Spanish for misery. And that's my story.